friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I have got another anti-haul for you. I believe this is my 11th anti-haul that I've done on my channel. I like to do these once a month, sharing my thoughts on some new beauty launches that I'm not going to be purchasing. In general, I do not like to bash brands or products in my anti-hauls. I'm not really about that negativity. I simply want to share with you the kind of ins and outs of how I decide what products I want to purchase versus which ones I want to pass on, because we all know there's just too much. Even though everything can look appealing, there are just so many products being launched constantly that if you're one person with a budget, you can't buy it all. So this is not me telling you you should not buy these products. If you're really interested in them, that is awesome. Some of these brands, they have products that I really love, so this is not me saying that these brands suck. It's purely just me talking about a few products that I've decided this time around, or at least for now, I'm going to be passing on. So the first product that I think I'm going to be passing on this month is the new Becca Be a Light Face Palette. So it looks like there are two versions of this palette available, one for lighter skin tones and one for deeper skin tones. It retails for $46. And it has kind of like two bigger square pans on the sides of the palette, and in the center it looks like you have a blush and a bronzer. It appears that the products on either side, one says brighten and one says blur, so I believe these are more like setting face powders to kind of minimize pores or maybe like brighten up the under eye. It looks like you get 15 grams of product total, and right now it is rated with 4 stars on Sephora with 25 reviews. So honestly, there are a couple of reasons why I'm not going to be picking this palette up. I think the biggest reason is that I'm just not very interested in the particular types of products that are offered in this palette. I mean, I do love blush, but I'm not really crazy when it comes to setting and finishing powders. I have a few that are my go-tos, and I very rarely feel inclined to pick up new ones. I also don't have a really massive collection of bronzers. I do wear bronzer pretty much every time I'm wearing makeup, but I kind of have my staples that I rotate through. I'm trying to pan 2 different bronzers, actually 3 different bronzers right now, so I am not really interested in adding more to my collection. And I just know that from the moment I saw pictures of this palette on Instagram, it did nothing to really suck me in. It didn't speak to me. And in general, if I don't feel a particular calling from a product, especially one that's over $40, I probably don't want to be spending my money on it. Not to mention the fact, now I don't know how big this palette is, but I have an idea in my mind. Like, I could imagine it being probably about like yay wide by like yay tall. So I get the feeling that the blush and bronzer shade within this palette are going to be very small and difficult to dip your brush into, which kind of annoys me. Like, when it comes to face powders, I really prefer a palette that I can easily get my brush into the pan without picking up product from a different pan accidentally. I don't need to have a massive amount of product like for the value, but I need it to be user-friendly. And there's something about this that I get the feeling it's going to be a little bit more annoying to use, which I don't really like, especially for a palette that's that expensive. And again, the face powders don't really appeal to me. I think right now if I was to buy a face palette, I still have my eyes on the Too Faced Natural Face Palette. That's something I still haven't purchased, but for months now I've kind of been eyeing it. So I think if I'm gonna buy a face palette, that would probably be the one. The next product that I'm going to be passing on this month is also a face palette, but it's specifically a highlighter palette. So Anastasia Beverly Hills is launching another glow kit. They are known for their glow kits of being not only beautiful, blinding highlights, but they're also a really good value because you're essentially getting like full-size highlighters in palette form. And yes, they retail for over $40, but the cost per highlighter ends up actually being less than some drugstore single highlighters in a lot of cases. So the Dream Glow Kit has 6 shades. It's more similar to, I think, like the Nicole Conceal collab that they did than the traditional like Sweets Glow Kit or Gleam Glow Kit that has the 4 pans. This one has 6. It does not look like they are removable or replaceable the way that the 4-pan glow kits are. Each pan, it looks like it has 4.5 grams of product, and it retails for $45. Now, I have mentioned the glow kits on my channel before in that I don't own any of them and I never have, and I do love highlighter. I just have never felt compelled to go out and buy a highlighting specific palette because in general, I feel like it's almost overwhelming, like too many options. I tend to reach for the same kind of highlighters, the same types of tones over and over again. I'm not really a big fan of colorful highlights, which this palette specifically seems like it's exclusively a very colorful palette. So to me, a lot of what is appealing, I think, to most people about highlighting palettes is the very reason that I don't want to buy them. Typically, like if I have a face palette that has blushes, bronzers, and highlights in it all together, I like that because it's good for traveling and I can kind of just create my look all from one place instead of having to reach for a bunch of singles. But with a highlighter palette, it takes up a lot of space and I'm still going to have to go in with a blush and a bronzer anyway. So I don't know, this is just me. It's a personal preference thing. I tend to like highlighter singles. I just don't really buy highlighter palettes. And again, this new Dream one is very colorful, and I tend to be a more gold champagne-y kind of highlight wearer as opposed to things with a strong pink or purple undertone to them. And I mean, I've heard nothing but good things about the Anastasia highlighter formula. I like a lot of their other products. I like their eyeshadows, so I feel pretty confident in saying that the formula will probably be decent in this. You might want to watch some reviews, see some swatches just to see exactly how this is going to look on the skin and what people are saying about it. I just know I personally, I would never really wear any of those 6 shades. It's a lot of money, again, to spend on a single product. Yes, you are getting a lot of highlighter for your $45, but I don't need that many options. I don't need something colorful. So unfortunately, I think I'm just gonna be passing on this one. So the next thing I want to talk about is a collection. And this one, I'm very tempted to buy. I've had my eyes on it, but I'm anti-hauling it purely because I know that it's probably not a good idea. Like, I think I would regret it if I bought it, so I'm trying to reel myself in a little bit. And what I'm talking about is the new NARS Orgasm collection. So they released a lip balm, a lip lacquer, and then like a loose finishing powder, or I think they called it an illuminating powder. And the packaging on this entire collection is absolutely stunning. It's got that really sort of pretty pink, especially on the lip products, that like chromy kind of pink finish to it. Obviously, the whole thing is inspired by the Orgasm blush, which is one of NARS' like best-selling cult products ever. And I do like that blush. It's not one of my go-to favorites, but I do think that it's pretty. It has a little bit of chunky gold reflect to it, so it can definitely enhance texture a little bit on the skin, but in general, like the color of pink that it is very pretty. It gives a very healthy flush to the cheeks, so I like the shade, and the lip products, especially in this collection, have that same tone to it. They're pink with like a gold shift, and they look so flippin' pretty. But I know, number one, I don't need them. And number two, I think that in actuality, the way that they will perform on the lips won't be something that I'll fall in love with. So if you look at the reviews of the Afterglow lip balm, which looks like it retails for $28, I mean, $28 for a lip balm, it's a lot of money. Basically, what everyone is saying is that it's very sheer. You basically get like no tint on your lips. So essentially, you're paying $28 for the beautiful packaging, which, don't get me wrong, is stunning. But if on the lips it's gonna look the same as wearing chapstick, it's kind of hard to justify spending that much money. Obviously, if you love it and it's beautiful and it's just something that you want and you have the means to go out and treat yourself, you do you, boo. I am not gonna judge, because there's a part of me that wants that lip balm so bad. I just know, if I'm being practical and I'm being honest with myself, it's probably so not worth it. The same thing goes for the full vinyl lip lacquer. That one retails for $26, so a little bit less expensive. The packaging is also absolutely stunning, but the reviews on the website so far, they seem pretty polarized. Either some people really love it, or some people say that it's too gold, like it looks very metallic and chromatic on the lips. And I do enjoy some of those kind of shimmery lip products. I know I mentioned a few of them in my testing 10 video this week, like the Almay Goddess glosses. I've been enjoying the Pixi lip icing. I'm actually wearing over a lip liner today. That one is really beautiful, but they're more subtle. They don't come across on your lips as looking truly like heavy and metallic. So I don't know with this lip gloss. Again, I have so many lip products. I have the ones I just mentioned to you in my collection already, so even if this is a pretty lip product, the odds of me actually really needing it right now are pretty slim. And I know that if the packaging was just like a black lid on the, you know, the top of the wand, I probably wouldn't even have thought about purchasing it. It's the packaging that's getting me and that's making me want to buy that lip product, and that is so not a good reason to spend almost $30 on something. So I'm gonna walk away from this NARS collection despite the fact that it looks beautiful and I kind of want it. We're gonna resist. The next product that I'm not gonna be purchasing this month is from Kat Von D. It's the new 24-hour Super Brow Long Wear Pomade. So Kat Von D just launched a whole bunch of new brow products, and I would say as a whole the collection does look pretty cool. I am curious about the brow powder and the pencils. I just think that the pomade specifically I'm going to completely pass on. I did see Jen Love's reviews talk about this product and how she got the dark brown shade and that it was very, very thick and intense. This is truly a product if you want those sculpted Instagram brows, which is something that I typically don't wear. I tend to try to go a little bit more natural with my eyebrows, so I have a feeling, I trust her reviews a lot. I think that she's very honest and very thorough, so if she doesn't like it for those reasons, I have a feeling that I won't either. So we'll see down the line about the other Kat Von D brow products, but the pomade, I think I'm gonna pass on. So the last two products that I'm not gonna be picking up this month are both influencer products. One is an influencer brand product, the other one is a collab product, which I feel kind of bad about because I do love supporting other YouTubers, and I think it's amazing that people like myself are able to grow in this community and then to have that influence with brands or to be able to start their own makeup lines. Like, I think it's awesome, and I definitely do enjoy supporting other creative individuals in doing their thing. I just know that there are certain specific reasons why I don't think I need these products in my collection. So my reason for not buying them is in no way related to not wanting to support the individuals that created them. It's just me trying to be realistic about my makeup needs at this time and trying to rein myself in from spending money unnecessarily. So the first one is the new Tarte Aspen Ovard Eye and Cheek Palette. The packaging, again, on this is absolutely stunning. It has got this sort of mirrored rose gold with a floral detailing on it. So beautiful. There is a part of me, again, that thinks, like, I want this just because it's so pretty to look at. Like, I want to photograph it. But I know that is not a reason to spend almost $40 on a makeup product. So this particular palette looks like it has 9 eyeshadows and then a blush and a bronzer, I believe, or a blush and a highlighter. It has a really big mirror on the inside. Again, a really beautifully laid out palette. It definitely is within Aspen's style. It's very soft, neutral, kind of rose gold tones. The actual palette itself, I think, would be wonderful for a lot of people that don't have massive makeup collections. Like, I think for the average everyday makeup wearer, this would be a great palette to have because it has a lot of essential neutrals and it has the eye and face products, so it could be your like one-stop shop. It would be nice for traveling, especially with that giant mirror in there. I just know I have all of those shades somewhere else already in my collection. There's nothing in that palette that I need, that would be new to me, that would be essential, and I know that I would use it a few times and then it would get thrown in a drawer and it would basically just go to waste. So as much as the packaging is beautiful, as much as I think that they did a great job curating the palette, I know it's something I really don't need right now. And the other influencer product that I'm going to be passing on is Manny's new Life's a Drag palette. So Manny MUA started his own makeup line called Lunar Beauty, I believe. And so this is his first product that he's launching from the brand. It's an eyeshadow palette and it has, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 14 shades in it. It has gotten nothing but stellar reviews from everyone that I've been watching, seeing them swatch and play with the palette. The shadows look like they blend really beautifully. They're very pigmented. It looks like the more metallic shades do come off pretty nice and foiled on the eyes. The actual palette itself is massive. If when you see people hold it up like next to their head, I swear it looks like it's like this wide by like this tall. It's just this giant palette. The packaging looks really cool, and I think that Manny definitely stayed true to himself. He launched a really cool product. It has a bunch of neutral shades and some really cool fun pops of color. I think a lot of people are gonna have a lot of fun with this palette. But again, I just think like the neutral shades are all shades I know I already have. I do enjoy color, but I don't wear it that often, and I have a few palettes already that have those kind of pops in them. Like I have the Morphe 35B palette, which is just essentially all colors. And so when I look at this palette, I think to myself, like, do I really need this? Do I really need these shades? And I know that I don't. I have a feeling that a lot of people are going to be buying this and reviewing it and doing looks on it. So I kind of almost feel like for me to buy this for the purpose of reviewing it will just kind of be redundant content in your feed. I'm not someone that normally does a lot of like drag inspired makeup, which I think can be really cool and artistic, and I know that there are going to be people that love this. I know that there are going to be people that are going to get a ton of use out of it, and it seems like a great palette. I just know for myself, like, I really probably don't need this. It's $45, which I don't think is an unfair price point by any means. I have a lot of eyeshadow, and I like the ones that I'm using. I feel like I should be trying to get more use out of the eyeshadow palettes that I already have, so I think for now I'm gonna pass on the Life's a Drag palette. I would assume that it's gonna be permanent, so maybe someday down the road if I get super curious, I'll give it a try, or I'm sure as Manny releases more things in his line, maybe there will be something that I'll wanna try out, but for now, I think it would be smart for me to just give it a pass. So that is everything that I'm going to be anti-hauling this month. I hope that this was interesting to hear about. If you didn't know about these new launches, maybe they'll appeal to you and you'll want to go pick them up, or maybe you're on the same page as me and these are things you know you just don't need. So we'll create some solidarity. We'll stand up and we'll walk away. We'll walk away from the pretty makeup. We'll save our money for something else. If you guys enjoy these anti-haul videos, give this one a thumbs up. I always really appreciate your support. And if you're not subscribed to my channel and you want to see more of my beauty videos in the future, make sure you click that button before you go. I upload every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, so I hope to see you back here again in the future. And also, if you're not following me on Instagram, Instagram is probably my favorite social media platform of all of them. I am obsessed with taking like product pictures and flat lays, so if you like pretty pictures of makeup and beauty and stuff, follow me over on Instagram. My handle is BLUSHINGBIRDIE. Everything is always linked in my description box, all of my social media accounts if you want to check any of them out. And yeah, I think that is it. I hope you guys have an awesome weekend. Stay tuned for this Sunday's Manis and Musings video. It's a new series that I'm starting that's gonna help you kick off your week with a little bit of intention and positivity. And yeah, I hope you guys have a good one, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.